Sure.
Hey, great Thursday. It is Throwback Thursday night. And we're gonna throw back to Monday. And we got Ryan. Throwback Thursday, and we're gonna throw back to Monday. It has been a beautiful day in the city of Brownsville, and I'm gonna say probably the whole valley. Not that we go out and about much, because some of us still believe in a little bit of shelter in play. Hey, Joe, my man. But been a beautiful day. We're expected to get a lot of rain. I know a lot of people here in the city of Brownsville. Senor Cook, hola. A lot of people in the city of Buenas noches, Maria Lily. A lot of people here in the city around. I had to Josh for Josh. Guys, I know that a lot of people in the city of Brownsville got some rain last night. Did y'all get rain out here at the rich people place?
No, the rich people place. No. We had a quick scatter, but it didn't last very long.
Frankie, you got some rain up there in the poor side of town?
Yeah, we did get some rain over here by the airport. All last night. Gladly, it's supposed to rain for the next two days. I'm not sure if it's either Friday or Saturday or Sunday. We've had an eventful day. An eventful Thursday. The governor for the state of Texas met with President Trump at the White House. We got some news in regards to the teachers, in regards to their pay, which is, one positive thing out of all this mess. So all in all, it has been rainy in the city of Brownsville, but overall, it's been a good day. Thank you for having me on. And how's it going, Ryan?
Oh, it's going good. Actually, I did step out. We picked up dinner from Yuki's tonight, so limonada for dinner, along with other things, all chucheria, and it was amazing. So thank you guys for having me on. I'm looking forward to an interesting night.
It has been an interesting night, and it has been an interesting night up to this moment. We were waiting to see what was going out in regards to the numbers. But some other stuff has been happening, so we'll go over that stuff in a little bit, and then hopefully, are the numbers in, Frankie? All right, we'll go in.
Yeah,
go for it.
We have our 20th death. An 82-year-old from Brownsville passed away at the Solara Hospital that we've been mentioning. Out of Brownsville, there was 4 positive exams: 27-year-old male, 40 and a 57-year-old female, and a 59-year-old male from Brownsville. Again, we're going to see a high number coming from the city of Harlingen. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 from Harlingen, ranging from the ages of 53 to 94. 1 from Los Fresnos, a female, and the total number for the county at 483. So now we officially have our first death registered for the city of Brownsville. An 82-year-old man died at the Solara Hospital in Brownsville, Texas.
Well, there you go. There's our 82-year-old man. Look, guys. I mean, I was actually starting to worry. I was starting to worry, and then I was going like, I think, was it you, Ryan, that said, or someone said, well, maybe he died somewhere else. Someone said they died somewhere else, or he was from a different city and they registered him.
I brought it up. Yeah.
And I'm going like, what in the world? Hey, Julie, what in the world's going on? Why are we not getting these numbers in? And I didn't know. And I thought, well, maybe the report was just wacko. Maybe the report was wacko, and Juan Montoya just posted something that wasn't true. And this was 2 weeks ago. Do y'all remember? Like 2 weeks ago that he came out with that post?
It was a week and a half ago. Yeah.
Guys, what's going on? I mean, goodness gracious alive. I mean, passed away. But goodness gracious. I mean, why is it taking 2 weeks for us to get notification when, I mean, does anyone have like a protection of the family or something? Any idea?
It's weird. It's weird just that there isn't a presence, right? That there isn't any update about that is coming in so late. Why that's happening, who knows, right? I don't want to get into, I don't want to go get my tin hat, right? But it just sounds funny that we have to wait that long to hear about a death.
It just boggles my mind. I don't really understand what.
And an interesting thing, what I was thinking about was possibly the contact tracing. Maybe they were trying to reach out to all the individuals that have possibly come in contact with this elderly person. That's quite a possibility. Another thing, Erasmo and Ryan, we just got word today from the Herald that an individual at a nursing home here in the city of Brownsville tested positive. So again, we have the situation going on in the city of Harlingen. The massive outbreak. This is the 20th death, but 19 out of the 20 deaths have been associated to Windsor and Veranda nursing home in the city of Harlingen. So, we begin to ask ourselves, is Brownsville next? Is Brownsville going to be another, large number of positives due to a nursing home? It's unfortunate. Let's hope not. Again, we've talked about how the reasons why we were so scared about the nursing homes in Harlingen was because that we learned that nurses, that they have these satellite jobs where they work at one facility for a couple days or a couple hours, and then they'll go work at another facility. Could that possibly happen here in Brownsville? Did this individual who had contact with nurses, possibly even doctors or staff, did they spread to other people? We will begin to find out in the next couple of weeks. But does the city of Brownsville have a nursing home crisis? It's a waiting game right now.
Yeah, you know what? My wife was actually bringing that up this afternoon when that posted. We were talking about, we hope they're not working, at different places, right? They do have the experience, they do have the expertise where they can fill in, right? So I think that's going to be a big scare. And as good as of the work that people do, we all know those places are breeding grounds for all kinds of stuff. And if you read the article, the patient went to the hospital, came back, and so they're thinking, oh, he got it at the hospital. And so whenever these patients or the members of these facilities get sick, they are rushed to the hospital. They're already fragile, and so they're going to a place that right now is just a fervor, right, for so much going on right now.
Well, again, what bothered me most from the article, well, there's a couple of things that bothered me in regards to the Spanish Meadow article. First of all, the first thing that bothers me in regards to Spanish Meadow is that I think we've known for a while. We've actually talked about it a little bit for a while already. So going back into how these numbers or these cases are being reported to us as people of the city, how long have they known and they have not let us know about this individual at the nursing home? If y'all remember, when we came out with the information in regards to Veranda, they started making it public because of that video clip that we posted. So again, guys, I mean, how long have they known? Have they been keeping it for a while? That was my first concern. Second, they actually sent him to the hospital. They sent him to the hospital and out there going like, well, wait a minute. If you got someone testing positive in a place, why can't you contain him unless the individual needed the ICU medical attention ventilator type of situation? Does that make sense? Why else send him to the hospital?
He probably had other complications that were affecting his health, and maybe they felt, it's best to submit him to the hospital. Maybe that, he hung around for a couple of days, couple of weeks, and then he finally succumbed to this disease. That's the only reason why I would think that they would send him to the hospital.
Well, I mean, that's the only thing that I can think of. But again, we're going into more and more questions. In Mexico, they have 51 old folk homes. I'm not understanding. They have 50.
I believe Maria is saying that in Mexico they have 50 people tested positive in a nursing home, probably.
Oh wow! Is it here in Matamoros, Maria Lili? That's amazing. That's another Harlingen. I wonder why BSD made the robocalls call us 4 different times. And I'll answer the question. The individual who called was Rosa Ponce. She is the head nurse in regards to the health department in the Brownsville. I heard the robocalls, guys. They are annoying. Again, getting them 4 times is excessive. Besides that, I mean, they're not very factual when you start thinking that what they mention is that they're working hand in hand with the city of Brownsville. They are not. They kick sand in the face of the city of Brownsville. So again, I don't know why they would say those robocalls. So yeah, I'll answer that so we get rid of the robocalls. I know the calls keep coming, even though I've already listened to the message. Yeah, I listened to it once, never done again. I love you, Liana. Thank you so much. Hey, Crystal, good to see you. En mi Monterrey. My goodness.
Wow.
Let me tell you, I honestly did not know that they had nursing homes in Monterrey. And I lived in Monterrey for many years, and I tend to visit Monterrey quite often. But again, I didn't even know that they had nursing homes. But it's not a very good situation. 50 individuals in one nursing home is not a good thing. Well, what my concern with the nursing home situation, I mentioned it weeks ago, and I actually had conversations with the mayor of the city of Brownsville and with other entities in regards to the health department. Was that what happens, and we'll explain again for individuals who hadn't been out here. What happens is you've got an employee who went into a veranda and infected individuals out there, past the one out there. This individual probably passed some co-workers. This individual and maybe other individuals on there, they go and they work at Windsor Atrium. And back then I knew for a fact that it wasn't just Windsor Atrium. But then they would come back and work here at some of the nursing homes here in the city of Brownsville. So again, my concern was, do we have situations at our nursing homes that were ever apparent and ever happening as they were in Harlingen? And that is one of my concerns.
Well, do we know if they started testing right away once they had one person? I mean, obviously, right? In my mind, that makes sense. Start testing everybody that's near that person.
Well, that's what the little article in the Brownsville Herald alluded to. I would hope so. I think one of the reasons why Brownsville has upped the game in regards to being one of the key cities in regards to testing individuals. I would hope that that's what they would do. And I guess, but again, when are we going to find out the results? If they started testing last week? I mean... Yeah. 2 weeks ago, we should already have known the results. Why is it taking so long to report? Manuel says, thank you for the yard sign. She was heartbroken having missed your visit. I did go stop by. I had a great conversation. I think it's with Melanie's dad. Great conversation. Great man. And thank y'all so much. It was an honor. Again, y'all let me know. I'll stop by anytime. I have a lot of time on my hands. Now, an honor and a pleasure. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for accepting the sign that we made out for y'all. God bless y'all. Good evening. So again, do I think that we're going to have the same situation in the city of Brownsville we had in Harlingen? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no because I think that the city of Brownsville has learned a little bit from Harlingen, and if they didn't, then shame on them. But I'm hoping that they learned. Why did we not know about the Solara patient? Was this kept a secret? Today in Spanish Meadows was blasted immediately. This patient at Solara already passed away. Sounds fishy. Again, guys, we've been saying it for weeks. What is the today's total? Today's total is, Frankie?
Let me.
Today's total was
I apologize.
83. Today we had 1, 2, 4 in the city of Brownsville, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in the city of Harlingen, and 1 in Los Fresnos. Again, the ones in Harlingen are all, except for one 53-year-old, all in the age of 80s and 90s. So I don't think we're out of the woods yet, guys. When do you think the cap's going to be, Ryan? Let's take this one.
I'm sorry?
When do you think we're going to?
Oh, man. We're at what right now? What are we at right now?
We're at 483.
883.
I'm sorry to say, I think it would be something scary, something like 550. I think that'd be scary. We still have, we just had the island reopen, right? And everybody was like, Clayton's having a good time. I had to go to Walmart for something today. A lot of people without masks. I think we're going to start seeing numbers climb. So I was just telling my wife, it's scary. No masks, lack of social distancing. I hope that Cameron County is going to be a little aggressive with how we handle this. But I also know that our local business owners suffered greatly. So we are trying to weigh that, right? Trying to weigh the economy and trying to keep people safe. But then we have some people that just are not even concerned, it seems like, or they think it's over. They think that, oh, it's relaxed, we can go out now and have a good time. But I would hate to see something like this get out of hand, and we try to wait for a high number.
Well, the way that it was reported on the Cameron County website, the guy was the second death of a community. Again, not linked to anybody else and no travel related. Again, we've been talking about this guy for 2 weeks already. This man that passed away. This guy, I'm sorry about that. This man passed away. Most nursing homes are vulnerable. I read that one of them broke this trend. How do they do it? Staff members live on site.
Whoa.
Well, I mean, that way you're completely sheltering in place by keeping individuals there. Yeah. I mean, they must be paying their individuals a lot of great money to have individuals actually living and working there. It's just not happening. May 1st was 421. May 8th, 483. Wow. Dang.
And again, this is only 4 to 5 weeks into this, and we're already itching closer to 500. So where is that going to lead us in late June, early July? Are we going to be in the thousands with double the number of casualties? It's hard to say. Again, we've talked about the projections that were given previously, and today the White House Task Force, Dr. Burke, I believe her name is Deborah Burke, talked to the media with President Trump and Governor Abbott, and they had mentioned how Texas has been able so far to take care of the hot spots, the big cities that have been testing large number of positive cases, and Dr. Burke said that the state of Texas has been a good example because they've been able to mitigate and prevent the spread of the virus, and they've been saying how good they've been doing. The governor and the different counties, how they've been able to do a good job of contact tracing. Keeping that communication with those individuals testing positive, so that they gave them the confidence to open up. So again, every region is different. What works in Houston, what works in Dallas may not necessarily work for the city of Brownsville. Again, we've talked about time and time again how we have the state of Tamaulipas. I think today they came out with 152, Erasmo, if I'm not mistaken, or in the 150s, and that's because if Cameron County, if the city of Brownsville was having a hard time coming up with these tests, now let's try and put ourselves in Mexico's shoes. It's probably even much more harder for them to get those tests. So we have this problem. We see what's going on in Veranda Nursing Home. We see what could possibly perhaps occur here in Brownsville with our nursing homes. So it's very scary. The projections say one thing. I honestly think it's going to get better within the next couple weeks.
54 counties, Cameron County ranked 14th from the top on May 1st. Wow. We have to, again, and Governor Abbott was actually in Washington with President Trump today. And one of the things that he said actually while with the president is something that I just don't see how they are not implementing in this area. He did speak about having small towns without any, in some counties without any cases. So, it was like, why are we going to be, holding them to shelter in place or stay at home when, the same rules that as other counties? But my concern then is, wait a minute, why are we all open and about? Why are we following the same mandates that a small rinky-dink little county up in West Texas that hasn't had any COVID cases? Why are we, doing it in reverse? then why are we as open as they are now?
That's a good question. What's good for one should be good for the other. It's hard. Again, a question was asked to President Trump in regards to the stimulus. Are we going to get money? And his first response was, "Well, if we follow Texas's example, we shouldn't have to come to that because we're going to get everybody back to work, and there won't be a need for that because people will have a steady flow of income." So again, the big thing, guys, Ryan and Erasmo, the big thing is economics. We're in a political race for the presidency this coming November. So we see the urgency of be able to say, hey, during my helm, the economy has been through the roof. We did have a little hiccup. We had to shut it down for a month or two, but look at us now in September, October, and in November coming up to election season. So the ultimate factor is money. How we all know, some areas aren't affected how we are. But at the end of the day, it's all economics. That's the decision in which our elected officials have taken lately, and it's unfortunate because we shouldn't put a price to a life, but obviously there is.
Well, my concern is, I mean, we are a blue county. We are a blue section of Texas. All through the Rio Grande Valley. I mean, are they just not concerned about what's going on at the blues? And I hate, polarizing it, making it a Republican and a Democrat thing. But do they not care what's happening at the Democratic counties? Because let me tell you, I see an issue with our county, guys. I mean, I see an issue with our county. I see us struggling. I see that we are in trouble, and I think that's part of the desperation that Eddie Trevino, the county judge, was demonstrating, and as well as the Mayor Trey Mendez. Like, goodness gracious,
Yeah, I think it's really easy to politicize this, right, and look at our county being blue, but the people at the island, people at the stores, it doesn't seem to matter. It doesn't seem to matter which way you're voting. They're there, right? So people just aren't following it anyway. I'm sad to say, to see Cameron County at 14 out of the state, it seems like we're only going up. So whether or not we're blue or red or whatever, the numbers aren't going to lie. We're all going to be in this together. And if we're not going to practice these things, then, we're in for a rude awakening in a few weeks, a month, when we get shut down again. Like, you better believe that that's something that is probably going through Trevino's mind at the very least.
Well, it's well,
do you think how Ryan said, again, we have mentioned how Judge Trevino and Mayor Mendez have been reluctant to open up. Do you think, Erasmo, that in the next week or two, maybe even 3 weeks, we will be in that position where Judge Trevino will be forced to shut the county down once again, or you think that's, that's we're already past that? If it happens, great. If it doesn't, ni modo.
I'm at that point now that I think they're just going to let the bodies drop.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard to hold people accountable, right? Because we used to be we were giving tickets, people were getting locked up, but Abbott just said today or yesterday that, if you were arrested, that's not going to hold, right? He's asking people to be released, just like that hairdresser in Dallas who opened up her salon, or Fort Worth. I don't think he'd be able to hold people's feet to the fire or keep them at home in any way. And there's no way to hold people accountable once you're out, and knowing that the tickets aren't going to count, arrests aren't going to stay upheld. You're going to have a lot of people who are already upset about being kept home, right? So what's going to keep them home now?
I mean, I just don't see us going back to shelter in place in any way, shape, or form. I think that right now they're just going to let the numbers continue to go up. But the problem with that is that then it's never going to stop. If we continue to do what some people up here are saying, that they're going to the island and it's jam packed, then it's never going to stop. We're never going to. I know that the city of Houston wanted to extend, or some county up there, and I think Laredo wanted to extend the shelter in place even farther, the longer that the governor had made mention of it. To answer Jaime's question real quick, you go to BTX Cares, btxcares.com. fill out the questionnaire, and it will not cost any citizen of Brownsville and or any citizen of Harlingen anything. So it's that, guys. I don't think there's any going back to shelter in place. I mean, we're already starting to open up. Are you going to tell small business, hey guys, we take it back? We're closing shop. Again, who's going to want it here? In terms of testing, if Trump's valet came out positive to Civic and the president was being tested once a week, now they're going to be tested every day. Why not do that to people that go to work, teachers, everyone? That's actually a great point. You know, if the people at the White House where the task force meets every day are not immune, to coming out testing positive, what's to fool us that we, in our daily lives aren't going to have to suffer the same? The white hairdresser was pardoned, but the 2 Hispanic hairdressers were screwed. That's what I heard. I haven't heard about the 2 Hispanic hairdressers, but I think everyone's who.
They were doing nails and eyelashes out of their home, but I think there's only one reason while they're still in jail.
And why is that?
The color of the skin.
Yeah, they're brown, man.
What I see those.
You're going back to into poor counties, Democrat controlled counties. I think again, we're in trouble, guys. Trump's own staff today could have the COVID-19. Who knows? It could happen. It definitely could happen. I was very surprised we haven't seen the dramatic, huge increase of confirmed cases after Easter Pachanga. I think a lot of the numbers that we're seeing now are actually coming from there.
Yeah, and then you got to keep in mind people are asymptomatic, right? Some people aren't showing signs at all.
I'm not sure. Yeah, Laredo is one. Thank you, Roman. Laredo is the one that actually voted to extend the thing. I think, and this is a good question. This is a good way to section out of this. Graduations are coming around the corner. Numbers will rise big time. And again, guys, the district is acting very irresponsibly. Again, the district is acting very, very, very irresponsibly. Again, they had, and I've said it yesterday. I think I said it yesterday. I'll say it again today. They were given an opportunity because instead of taking what TA had recommended out there, instead of taking the one that would place the individuals in less amount of harm, and they could come out with a halfway decent win, was do the drive-through. Do the drive-throughs, pass out, and look, and it's like we mentioned, guys. I was talking to someone today, guys. To my friend Tim, guys. Kids don't get their diplomas at graduation, guys. They don't get diplomas. They get a little cardboard. That's all they get.
We get the holder. That's it.
That's all you get. You get the holder. And look, guys. And I was talking to my friends out there at Jack in the Box, where they were asking me about graduation. And we're going to go into the budget meeting today, guys. I know I'm getting a lot of little text messages. Hey, Jimmy! We'll go into the budget meeting and what I see from them. But guys, it's the graduation, and I try to explain this to my friends there that are graduating at Jack in the Box, and I love Jack in the Box, guys. But I was trying to explain to them, guys, graduation will not be what y'all think it is. Because what happens is that you start to think that graduation is like, oh, we're going to be all together with my friends, taking pictures. That's what graduation really is, guys. Because, I mean, having to hear individuals give long-ass speeches out there, long-winded speeches is boring. Sitting and hearing name after name after name is boring, guys. It is. And it isn't. Look, out of 2,000 people, 3,000, 4,000 people that are there, they go to hear one name. Yeah. But they have to sit down and hear 500 to 700 names, guys. So, again, it's not the most exciting thing in the world. The exciting part is when you get to take pictures with your friends and then take pictures with your family and you've got the robes on. Guys, you can do that without putting your life at risk or your health or your family's life at risk. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Posted about it yesterday. What did you post about yesterday, Roman? White privilege. Graduations. People, please be careful. Stay home. And Carlos has a daughter that's going to graduate, and he basically mentioned as well that he's not going to have her participate in graduation.
Even at the end, everybody tosses up their caps. Who's going to stop those giant graduating classes, right? They're going to get together. Emotions are going to run very high. And what? Security is going to try to social distance? No, if I was security, I'd back off too. Okay, fine, go. I'm not going to be next to you. So you have that, and then the 2 people per I don't know how they're going to space people out. It has to be a logistical nightmare, right? Like how many rows are you gonna space? You know, no, it just sounds like a disaster waiting to happen.
It's a disaster. Yes, Anna, we did speak about the individual testing positive at Spanish Meadows. It was at the start at about 9 o'clock ish. So you could go back and listen to it, my friend. But it's there. It's there. 73 people watching before 9:30. I wonder what.
That's on one page.
Well, that's on one of our pages. We're actually streaming on 3 different pages. The virus. People just need to be precautious to prevent it. Preach!
They're not being precautious, though.
They're not being precautious. They are not. And again, we're just going to feel the brunt. In regards to the graduation, guys, you know, I know the sentiment of my students, and I know the sentiment of the parents out there. Guys, I feel for you. It's going to be a mistake. It's going to be a mistake. And the problem is, okay, you know, a lot of our students out there might not feel the brunt of that mistake because, again, guys, you know, individuals that are young like us, that are in our 30s, 20s, and teens, guys, we will survive. It's the individuals that are in their 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Those guys, you know, struggle with it, guys. Also, the younger kids, you know, the month-old babies, and we've already heard that we have maybe possibly a pregnant individual and someone months old, you know, coming out pregnant. We are small enough to have our graduation controlled by law enforcement. You all would need the U.S. Army to control graduation. It's true. Yeah. Port Isabel, I mean, it's going to graduate 3 people. So, yeah, I mean, you could probably have...
That's the biggest it's been in years, too.
Yeah, you could probably have graduation at my house.
What did Jimmy say? Like over 100, 120, 150?
I don't remember. I'm just picking on him. The governor said the outdoor graduation can happen. Yes. And again, that's great. But they made mention in regards to it happening like it happened at West Point. At West Point, there were no parents. No one in the audience, guys. And they were spread out very, very nicely on a big old field. I mean, if that's going to happen at... Again, if that's going to happen where everyone's spaced out at least 6 feet here at Sam's Stadium and you got Rivera and Hannah with 500 to 700 students graduating, guys, can you imagine them walking all the way towards a stage, you know, sparsed out at 6? You're going to be there for hours. Local news about city commission, except for one former PUB member voting, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Super said they were going to need a lot of help with graduation to maintain social distancing. I would not like to be one of the kids or families to stay apart. Again, guys, that is one of the reasons why teachers and everybody else is going to be called in. They're going to be, you know, doing their new job duty as an usher.
Yeah, so you're going to get more people to create more space. Yeah, it's a great idea.
Doesn't make any sense. Shout out to Joel Olvera for organizing the Facebook page. Yes, we've had Joel with us as one of those days, and actually I probably going to receive some flack, but it's okay. I was in top 10 out of 30. I believe him. Will BISD have hand sanitizer? Yes. Actually, I read that they will be having hand sanitizer for everyone walking into it. But again, it's not only in your hands that you carry it, folks. I mean, unless you're going to shower everyone before they go into the Sam Stadium. I mean, goodness gracious alive. Plus, they will be providing masks. That's the other thing that doesn't make any sense. So you're going to be going out there to pick up your cardboard, and you're going to have a mask on. I mean, it's very hard to recognize someone from 100 feet away.
But can they decorate their mask is the question.
That's going to be the next. You know, I heard that BIZ was planning to provide them with masks. So again, maybe they won't let them, as is. They say they won't let them decorate their caps, which is crazy. Even if they allow people to go, they should still live stream for all people not able to go. Again, great. Jimmy probably right. Maybe CVD and ICD can help assist the U.S. Army, but that might anger the Chow Days Parade for protesters. Chow Days. Guys, let's talk about the budget meeting.
The budget
Budget meeting. Today, the BISD did have a budget meeting, and again, I'm going to do my best, guys. Going to do my best to try and answer any questions that anyone might have out there. Again, I've been actually racking my brain this whole afternoon trying to understand, and I've contacted different administrators to try and get some information to try and pinpoint exactly what it means, and I'm still having trouble with it, guys. So I'll share what I have, and anyone out there, the greatest generation truly sacrificed for us during World War II, we should do the same for them by sitting on the couch. Preach! I like this guy. Tonyo's amazing. They should have ordered masks a month ago from China. No. Oh, okay.
They probably would.
No. Today's BIZ, and this is coming from Best, actually Best threw out a post out there, so we'll use there as base. Today's BISD budget meeting, administration announced that teachers and librarians are getting a $1,500 raise. Now, today's budget meeting, just so people understand, it is what administration is proposing, has not been voted on. So again, guys, it still has to go through the June meeting. They have to decide before July if they're going to have raises for next year. Now, what does it mean by a $1,500 raise? I mean, we have to go back and make sure that we do the math correctly. You're divided it by 12 months in individuals. So really, I think if I did my percentages right, it just depends on how much a teacher is earning right now, or a librarian, in regards to the percentage amount. So you're talking about maybe $130 a month. That sound about right? $140,
and taxed.
And then after taxes, what you're probably going to wind up with another $70, like the stipend that you didn't get. So, and someone correct me if I'm wrong. So, $1,500 is going to be $100 and some dollars, $70 a month.
I have like $87 after the 33% taxes going out of it. So más o menos $80-$90.
Okay, $89 a month. Let's say $100 a month. It's going to come down to $100 a month. So you're talking about you're getting a $25 a week raise. Is that about right?
Yeah, it's all right.
About
a raise is a raise, guys. And again, I'm glad that they're talking about giving something back to the teachers. But again, my concern with the salaries at the district have always been the same. Are we just edging up the little scale slowly in order to appear that we're appeasing the teachers and librarians? And again, I'm not dissing the. Hey, Carlos, how's it going, man? I'm not dissing the money. Any money coming in, hey, man, it's money that you weren't getting before. So it is a little bit jumping in regards to paycheck. Again, hats off. I'm glad that they're talking about giving teachers something. My first concern was it a one-time thing or was it a raise? So I did contact a couple of the board members. A couple of the board members assured again, no, they were going to vote on giving a raise. So it's something that's going to remain permanent for teachers and for librarians out there. So again, hats off. That's great. Now, are we where we need to be as a district? And the answer is no. We are not where we need to be as a district, because a district our size should be paying our teachers way more than what we're paying them right now. And again, I go back into maybe some other schools out here in our area that are actually earning more money than our teachers. Teachers out in McAllen and in Edinburgh are earning more money than our teachers, as well as staff. Staff out there. I mean, I had my bus drivers and I had my food service people go to some workshops last year out at Region 1. And let me tell you, they came back amazed at how little money they're actually making in comparison to smaller districts in the valley. So my hope was maybe $80 to $100 extra a month. Thank you, Leslie. Appreciate that. Thank you. My hope, Carlos, is that we could start moving on up to get closer to where we should be as a district. But not where we're at. Why are counselors, nurses, and diagnosticians being separated and not be given a raise? You had something, Ryan, before we go here?
No, computer got funny. Sorry.
They're not making more than teachers or librarians, yet these positions make more money. That's wrong. Those positions are paid under teacher pay with more days. Something is wrong. And they do mention, I was seeing, and they do mention that was part of what they posted. They didn't mention that counselors, nurses, and diagnosticians are all being moved to administration level 3 pay. And I did get some information in regards to that because it was also kind of confusing. Yes, but it's a one-time raise or is added to the compensation plan. Carlos Carlos was there. It has to be added to the compensation plan, guys. If it is not added to the compensation plan, it'll be part of the monies that was sent in by Governor Abbott in regards to those. Remember those $5,000 that we're supposed to get? That's what it's going to boil down to. And again, it all goes back to the wording, guys, how it is worded when it is presented to the board. So it's going to be a good time. They don't want to give raises to these groups. They do not. They do not want. I wish they could match the salaries with other schools, districts in the Rio Grande Valley. They are way higher than what we are at. The current board wants to give a raise because the election is coming in November.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And
sounds about right.
They have screwed up everything that they've done. So they're trying to appease. Again, folks, it's election year. Llegué tarde, de qué perdí. Adelia, wanna let her know. Carlos is asking the right question. Well, yeah, we're reading them, Roman. Is that part of $5,000? I would dare. That's what my question was. Because if you remember well, and when we did the distribution, they only gave teachers $3,400.
Really?
Yes.
Where I work, they gave us a lump sum like in September. They gave, here you go, guys. I said, okay, cool, thanks.
We didn't do that.
Damn.
So
Wow.
my question was, is this the other part that was already missing, and then they're just trying to make up for it? That was my question that Ben Niardi was referring to. I did speak to the board members, and they were all, oh, no, it's going to be a raise, a permanent raise. Guys, let's all read the fine print when it comes out. This is just the budget meeting, guys. Also, they want to give a raise, but increase their student ratio, just like charter schools. Be careful with BEST. They are in bed with the current board member, 100%. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
They are. They're out there praising the board. Oh, look, they're finally doing what we asked them to do. BEST is in bed with the board and with the superintendent. They've been made administration, so they won't ever get a raise unless administration gets a raise. Melinda hit it on the head. That is what I was getting to. But this is the issue, Melinda. And again, guys, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, because again, without being there, it's kind of hard to understand these things. Look, guys, counselors, nurses, diagnosticians are all being moved to administration level 3. We do not know if salary adjustments are being made. And by that, what they're saying is let's say that you've been a diagnostician, a nurse, or a counselor for 15, 20 years, and you're over here, where you're close to or at a level 3. So for individuals that have come and are basically over here, they might be moved up over here to a level 3. But these people that were up here, those are not going to go anywhere. Does that make sense? That way, everyone is going to be closer to a level 3. But what Melinda says is very, very true. It's, again, depending on Carlos, and you have room for one more. Carlos, call him in if you need to, Frankie. Are they going to keep the current counselor stipend? That's the other question that I have. You actually hit it. Man, it's like you were hitting my marks. Pay grade level 3. If counselors keep all stipends, they would get an increase. Listen to this, of $5,750 a year.
Wow. Plus
stipends on pay grade 3. The question is, this is the $100,000 question, or at least the $5,750 question, will stipends continue? And the answer is, I don't think that they're going to continue. Does that make sense? Because they're being moved into a different category. So they won't have to be paying them stipends. No more stipends as per the previous budget meeting. So stipends are gone. They don't qualify for teacher raises. Winter November is coming, guys. It's very, very true. You're just Ron Burgundy reading the teleprompter. Carlos is asking. God, Roman. Now you ask why we don't bring you on sometimes? They saved $1,500 for the election. Didn't teachers just get like 2,000 for those? That's the amount. Exactamente. It was way, way low because the other part of that, with the insurance and everything else, it went up to something like 3,000 and some. So is this them making up for it? Our students consistently outperform state and federal expectations. Why? Because we have dedicated and hard work. Yes, 100%. BISD shows no respect for those teachers. And again, folks, for them doing it now, right before an election, should tell you something. But again, they haven't voted on it yet, guys. They haven't voted on it. They are trying to save face in a big, big way.
Will a rough week?
Yeah, will the substitutes be getting a raise? We haven't had one in 6 years. They have not mentioned a word about substitutes. They don't even want to pay substitutes in regards to doing all this mess. We had to have a discussion with them in regards to paying the substitutes that had been substituting for weeks on end. And we requested they continue to get paid. They were still doing the work. And they already had a pay raise last year. No vale Patrick Hammonds, pura rata. I agree. Antonio, if the district is not compensating competitively, you run the risk of bleeding talent. Who loses? The students and the community. This guy's on point. Great job, Antonio. Frankie, invite Antonio on. Super Shady. Just checking on my hometown browser. Hello from San Antonio, Linda. I hope y'all know.
Hey.
Carlos, come in. They have room for you. Roberto. Frank, did you send him an invite? Our stipends for teachers also increased. I think they're going to be doing away with stipends. It doesn't make sense. They said those who maximum out the step, they will not get a raise.
You're working?
That's what I was saying. So it does make sense, right? So, hey, they're at this step. The individuals that have been there for years and years and years, they're basically not going to get anything. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Teachers are the ones on the front line. 100%, Elizabeth. But have teachers been receiving any respect for this school from this corrupt school board? 95% of us are economically disadvantaged, and yet these children perform. The teachers make it happen. The teachers are the best.
This just got like way handsomer.
Teachers are the ones in the front line. I didn't say that. I said why we don't. I didn't say even increasing the stipends too much, other districts would help out too. Carlos, what do you think about the budget meeting?
I'm gonna tell you one thing, dude. The budget meeting is crazy, dude. I think they only, like I've been posting, and unfortunately for everybody, that some people are gonna get offended, but it is what it is. I think it's a political campaign. November is so close, So what are they trying to do? They're trying to give teachers $1,500. They should give them more. I agree with them. Give them $1,500. Give them $2,000. Give them $3,000. They deserve more. But the timing is
horrible.
If you actually look at $1,500 spread out through 12 months, that's $120.
It's crazy, dude.
Slap in the face.
It's a slap in the face.
Slap in the face. But yes, give them the $1,500. But not only the teachers, give the counselors, give the administrators got too much money. They the last year, I think when you were there, they gave them a lot of money. But give the librarians, give the teachers, give the classified, give them the money. They're the ones that are hurting right now. The classified people are the ones that are hurting. The teachers are overworked. Some of the teachers are working till midnight. Come on. I mean, the counselors, I tell you, I sleep with a counselor every night. She's working her ass.
What's his name?
Cintio Elizondo. To make sure that her kids, because you know what?
Hey, Cindy, let me tell you something. He just
And I,
confessed.
but she's busting her ass for these kind of people right here.
Hey,
Mhm.
mama!
That's what they're doing. They don't. They. To be honest with you, teachers, counselors, anybody that works for the district, they're not in there for the money, and you know that. Everybody says the same thing. They're not saying, I'm going to become rich, become a teacher, become a counselor. But you know what? They're the ones that are being disrespected the most. The current board is disrespecting them the most. The current board, and like you said, Erasmo, and I like the word. I just say it a little different. I say ID 10T. They are by far the worst board that the school district has ever had. And I have friends on the school board, but you know what? They are not thinking about the majority.
No.
They're not thinking about the kids. They're thinking about what is going to happen in November. In November, I want to get elected because I am the school board. I'm the person to be there and make the decisions. You know what? At this point in time, it's enough. It is enough. It is by far gone beyond the means of comprehension for anybody. Not even the most intelligent person can understand what these people are doing and why they're doing it. Now they're throwing money at these people. They're throwing money because you know what? Yeah, échale feria al perro. Bullshit. These people have given their lives to be able to educate these individuals through the most difficult circumstances that we are going through right now.
In the history of man.
COVID-19 is not something to say anything about it. It is going to be something that is going to affect every individual here. Someone is going to know someone that's been affected by some. Someone's going to get affected by this COVID-19, and you know what? The current board and the stupid superintendent doesn't give a rat's ass.
They don't. Carlos.
They don't care about the special ed population. They don't care about the teachers. They don't care about the 5%, the 10%, the general population. They don't care about anything other than, you know what? I want to get elected in November, man. What am I going to do to get elected in November? I'm going to give every teacher, because that's the biggest population in the school district that has the highest amount of votes. I'm going to give them a $1,500 raise. Guess what? Divided by 12. Forget about it. Divided by how much what they've been doing to get these kids to where they need to be. It's not enough money.
Not enough money.
You cannot pay these teachers enough, let alone $1,500. That's a bunch of crock of shit. I'm sorry, but you know what? I am so upset and I'm so fed up with the current board and their actions and the stupid superintendent and his or her deputy chiefs or whatever they call them, deputy, whatever. I don't know what they are.
Hey, Carlos.
Deputies, I don't know. They give them a badge. Who knows? I don't know.
I want to see your association. Carlos.
All I need to do is do the little Eddie dance.
Hey, Carlos, let me tell you, bro.
AOBE is the only people that have been going out there and busting their ass.
Yes.
For all these teachers. AOBE is the only recognized association throughout the state that is kicking ass and is going out there and busting their butt to make sure that their people are represented. And not only their people, because you know what? They talk about everybody.
Everyone.
Best sucks.
It does.
AOBE has been kicking butt. TVA, who knows where they're at?
And
You know what? We were cool at one point, but Albert Alegria has fallen behind. His retirement should have been gone. He's thinking about himself. AOB is kicking ass and representing the school district, and not only their members, but every member throughout the school district. Every employee throughout the school district is getting represented by one organization. AOBE is kicking butt for these individuals. And guess what? The next time they come across, they are going to come out in full force and get whoever they want elected in November. I'm sorry.
Hey, no, go ahead. Hey, Carlos, let me ask you something, bro. Let me ask you something. One of the things that I saw today with when they put up the post, estaban como muy emocionados. El Patrick, yes, LeBron is and I'm going like, dude, are you really telling your teachers this that you're fighting? You're all excited because they gave. Where was this excitement? Where was this emotion when they were screwing the teachers over, Patrick?
Mira, Patrick was getting his little whatever that means to him. But I'm gonna tell you what. There have been individuals that have been neglected, and the small population, the special education has been neglected, the special
Neglected.
teachers, the special services, the FNS has been neglected. AOB has represented everybody across the board. BEST has not. TVA has not represented everybody. AOB has come across, and you know what? They're not paying me for this talk. AOB has gone out and has represented every individual, regardless if they are part of AOB or not. I'm not kidding.
They're
They
not.
go out there and they take names, and they're going to be out there at the polls in November making sure that whoever was against not only the employees of the school district, the kids that belong to BISD, they are going to go out there and they're going to make it known. November is the time that things are going to change for Brownsville Independent School District.
100%. Guys, and again, best. Let me tell you guys. I'm sorry. I called them out.
If this mic was connected, I would have dropped it.
Guys, I've been saying for a while. I mean, when this first started to happen, I questioned where are the associations, and y'all know again, everything's recorded. We're not like BISD that cuts off their little recordings when they don't want to. Como dijo mi compadre acá arriba. So they're out there, and I called everyone out. And you know what? Let me tell you guys, I have seen AOBE on the front line of every situation that has come against the teachers and personnel at BISD. At the front line, y best, no hombre, estaban allá. Oh, the board are so amazing.
Hey, and they were the first ones to post it today online. They posted it real quick, and they made it look like they got the teachers the raise.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you one thing. Best didn't do a damn thing. All they did was go over there and fluff up feathers and do the song and dance and pop the fireworks and pull the strings so these little confetti things can come out. Best has not done anything, bro. I'm not kidding, dude. And I'm not gonna tell you anything because you know what? I've been a president of a union and I busted my ass off for every individual, regardless of what I had. I still went out there and did what is in the best interest of the majority. And I'm gonna tell you what, the best interest of the majority for Best is not for the majority. It's for Patrick Hammons. I put it on his Best, Facebook, and he deleted the post. I'm telling him, I'm calling him out. You know what? He came out and he would come up to the board and he would come over here and tell me we need to do this. And by all means, I did as much as I could for every individual and for the majority of the school district was what was in the best interest of everybody. And guess what? At this point, he's completely gone against that. He's gone against what he believed in. He goes out there and he looks now into what's in the best interest for Patrick Hammons, which is a bunch of BS, man. Alba Alegría has become a ghost. He's become a rogue.
El Rancho, Tamaulipas.
The only people that have been out there is AOB. AOB has put out their neck for everybody, not just for their members. I don't know what you think, Erasmo, but I mean, I'm passionate about union work. And this is not union work when it comes out to what's in the interest for me. And it's like what happened yesterday. A lot of people have been reaching out to me, and I didn't say anything last night because I don't think it was in the best interest I think the best interest was last night was to be able to pray for the individual that passed away and to be able to do the things that were done for that individual at that moment in time. But you know what? At this point in time, people are asking me what happened. I was there only because God called me to be there.
Preach.
And because you know what? I was there and all the firefighters that were there ran away from what needed to be done. I stayed there only because I thought that was the best that I could do at that circumstance. I did what I had to do, what I was been trained to do, what I devoted my entire career, my life to do, what I left my family and my kids so I can be educated and continue to do what I did for the community. But you know what? You know what came in the middle of it? The reason I got fired was because of political reasons. My kids know that. My kids are very proud of what I did yesterday.
I think
A lot of people know that. But it's so sad to see that the current commissioner of the city of Brownsville is doing the same thing that the BISD board is doing. Joel Munguia is a waste of time. He's going to run again. Joel Munguia, I'm sorry, but you know what? You are worthless. Jessica Chechu is only speaking only because she wants to be known and she wants to be liked on online. You have done nothing for our population. Trey Mendez is the only one that stood up there. Ben East is pinche marihuano. Cowan, she's worthless. She's a worthless doctor. And guess what? Cowan has spoke nothing. I like Cowan. I like Cowan, but he has spoke nothing. Who else am I missing?
Keep on. You're
They are worthless because they are not doing anything for the community, just like BISD is doing nothing for our teachers.
Nada.
When it comes down to when it really means something, guess what? The only people that are standing up are the people that are on the screen and the people that support this cause. The people that are going to go out and vote in November that want to change. Atkinson has stole millions from our children. What are we going to do in November? Vote them the blank out.
Yep.
Just like everybody else. I am sorry, but you know what? I am passionate about what I do. I didn't know I was being recorded, but I will do that for everybody and anybody as long as I'm given the chance to do it. Regardless of pay. Regardless of pay. You understand that, Joel Munguia? You understand that? Jessica Tetra, do you understand that? Trey Mendez, do you understand that? Marihuano, Benny. I will do that because you could take my job away, but you can never take my love to help other people. I will do that without you guys.
I knew we were in trouble when Best came out with their first statement in the beginning of all this. I felt betrayed 100%, Dina. And you saw me on here. I went nuts. Crazy. I was P.O. Very P.O. Because they were not out there fighting for the teachers. They were out there kissing Minerva's butthole. Kissing her butthole. Am I lying, Carlos? Am I lying? Wasn't that what
I don't even want to phantom that idea, Erasmo.
Call me and I'll sign you up for you be Louis. Don't forget Best supporting La Drew. That's true.
They support everybody who screwed them over. They support everybody who screwed the district over. They supported everybody who screwed the kids of this district over. Where is TVA? Oh, I'm buying a boat. I'm buying a damn pool for my backyard. I'm buying a ranch with my girlfriend in Mexico. Come on, man.
Hey, Ryan, as a teacher, what's your opinion?
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, no, so pro-union, like organization, I'm totally for that. I know that Working Idea, being a charter school, we don't have that. Luckily, I've never been in need of representation, but I know what unions bring to the table. I was actually answering Roman's question right when you asked me how would I rank them. I think one of the big things for me in seeing what's going on with AOBE fighting on the front lines, that seems to me like it would be the top one. My biggest issue, and I've asked it here before a long time ago, was I can't reconcile the idea of a board member being in bed with a union. It seems like a conflict of interest, and to me, it just seems weird. It seems really, really weird.
My little son sees my laptop and says, "Are you on a meeting?" And I said, "No, it's Facebook News." Woo! Love you. Right? Sandra, how would you rank them? Oh, you did that.
Yeah.
Phil Lying Cowan. Chris. No, it's Phil Flip Flopping Cowan. It's Flip Flopper. Are you eating popcorn? No, I'm actually eating.
See, but he's too close.
You know, and I'm sorry, Erasmo and Frankie for last night's event. You know, I was completely exhausted, not only mentally but physically, but emotionally because of what had happened yesterday. So I do apologize for all your views. I like I was asleep, but I was completely mentally and physically exhausted. What just had happened because it was so disheartening that I'm trying to do something and I'm asking for the individuals who have all the supplies, but they have a chief who doesn't give them the the equipment to be successful. You know, Chief Fire Chief Jared Sheldon, and I asked individuals when I was there doing what I had to do because it came by instinct, and I asked them for stuff, and guess what? They told me we don't have it. We do not have that equipment to be able to save this individual's life. You
Hey,
know how that just destroyed me. That's why if you saw me yesterday, I apologize to the viewers. I was completely emotionally, physically eh, drained.
Oh,
hey,
really?
Carlos, can you explain what equipment exactly was lacking in that moment?
While I was doing what I was doing, the ambulance was not available. You know,
We
you
only,
had
we only
you,
have six.
you had we only have, yeah, well, seven, because Jessica Techu, when I became chief, she allowed the port ambulance to be able to be activated again. That's why
Mm,
we got medic seven. I give her that credit because she was the only person that was able to give these individuals of that district, that seventh ambulance. But there was not an ambulance available. Not only that, but the individuals were not prepared to be able to give this individual the the treatment that they needed. I asked for stuff, and if you saw the video, it was lacking.
mhm.
It was
It was
lacking.
lacking.
It was weird. It was weird because they're just standing around watching you.
And yeah, it was frustrating. It was frustrating. I'm just a layman now. I'm a firefighter, and I'm a paramedic, and I'm a registered nurse, right? And I'm also a laborer. But at that moment in time, I was only providing as much assistance that I could at that moment in time.
Mhm.
And I reached out to the family, and I told them I'm sorry. I could only do so much with what I had. I reached out to the fire department, and they were lacking. They were lacking because you know what? Because Joel Munguia and every individual like Ben Neese and all that are not do not care. Do
No,
not care about the citizens of Brownsville.
they don't.
You
Eduardo,
know,
saludos, Eduardo.
and so it's frustrating, and it hit me very hard when I got home and I was with my kids and my wife to be able to see that I did everything I could, but I failed. I failed that day.
Well,
And I have to carry that with me for the rest of my life. But I failed because I wasn't given the opportunity to be able to save a life because the fire department failed because they have an idiot for a fire chief
Mhm.
and they have idiots as commissioners that don't allow this individual to be able to succeed.
yeah, they hinder the progress. Again, guys, not
Same thing with DISD.
not taking action is already an inaction.
Yeah.
It's a guy is not doing nothing. Vote them out, guys. And one of the things, and I mean, we saw the video, and we were, I mean, again, we saw you do you know what we've seen you do before, man. I mean, we've actually seen this before from you, man. But it did look what something that Ryan mentioned. It did look like they were hovering around you, like And again, no disrespect to them, but I mean, you took the lead, and that's called leadership.
And let me tell you what. There's a police officer, and I'm not gonna name him. And it really hit me hard is because he comes over and tells me, "We need you back, Chief. We need you back." For a police officer to tell you that, because obviously there's some concerns, and I don't want to come back as a fire chief if that's not where they want me to be. I just want to be able to come back as a responder when there's a need. I wanted them to give me my job back as a peon to be able to do what I put my career at. But you know what? They chose not to. The current commission chose to discard me as trash.
Uh, got a plane? Does the ambulance have an AED machine?
Yeah, when I was there as fire chief, they didn't have an AED. I made sure that every fire truck, every first responder vehicle had a 12 lead EKG. I fought for that because that means that there's that many more chances of an individual that goes into cardiac arrest to have a chance to have an AED available, a 12 lead EKG. And I made sure that everybody was trained to be able to provide the service. But you can't do that now because your current chief has failed to be able to provide that service.
Well, I mean, it's got very hard, and I think it's something that a lot of I've heard the same concerns from a lot of. I mean, I have relatives that are paramedics. I have, again, I have people throughout the city of Brownsville, and I know a lot of them that work for the city in regards to being first responders. They have the same concerns. When you're not provided the tools, you're not provided the time, you're not provided the training, you're not provided the financial resources. When people don't care, it's very, very hard to do the job that you're so passionate about. And something that Carlos mentioned is very true. It's the same thing that happens at BISD as a district. When you're not being given the recognition, when you're not being given the courtesy, you're not being given the kindness, you know, it becomes very, very lame. It becomes very, very hard. My mother-in-law called us. Her sister is a patient at Space Meadows Nursing Home, and they had called her that there is a first patient tested positive. Someone just sent that in, and they're testing all over the residents and staff. Yes, yes, yes. We saw that. Carlos, what did you think? Now that you're más calmado, it's good to see you calmado tonight, Carlos. Now, Carlos, más calmado. I mean, what is your take on the comments that we heard from the superintendent's meeting with the principals in regards to a la fuercita? Let's bring the teachers back. They have to come back. They have to close out the year. Tienen que trabajar. ¿Qué creen? ¿Que no quieren ir al Walmart? ¿Quieren ir al H-E-B? ¿Quieren ir al mall? Pero no quieren trabajar las canijas, los canijos.
Hey, they have to earn it. They have to earn it.
They have to earn the money. Si no, le voy a cortar 1/3 of their pay. What do you think about the superintendent, Carlos? Ya quedas calmado.
Do you want me to tell you exactly what I think about the superintendent? I don't think you want me to, but I'm going to tell you one thing. He is completely dumbed down teacher's role. The teacher role they have not left the school district because of Corona 16, because of COVID-16. They have not left the school district. They have not left educating their population. These individuals, not only teachers, special education teachers, administrators, they not only continue to educate, but they are worried about how their kids are going to continue to be successful. They don't stop thinking about that because the stupid superintendent and the board says, okay, you know what? It's time to get them back. It's time to put them back in the building. They haven't stopped working, you damn idiot, Rene Gutierrez. It's like, you damn bastard. They have not stopped working. The teachers have not stopped working. The counselors have not stopped working. The librarians continue to think, what are they going to be able to do for these kids? The administrators continue to think, how am I going to be successful in this time of need, in this time of this emergency? How can I make these kids be able to succeed in the future if they don't come back to graduate? And then you force it to go against the governor's decision to say, you know what? It's not safe to put these individuals back into this brick and mortar, like we were saying the other night, right, Frankie? The brick and mortar. It's not about brick and mortar. It's about making sure that these kids get as much education as they can while they're still at home. These teachers are filled with fear and with pressure from the stupid superintendent. I hate to say superintendent because he's not super. He's below super. He's an idiot. And his stupid people that he brought in continue to fulfill his desires and his needs, being, yo soy el chingón aquí. Yo gano $375,000. Yo soy la mera blank in the school district. But you know what? Screw every individual from Brownsville Independent School District, their employees, they're classified, they're certified, their kids, their parents. Me vale madre. You're going to do what I say. You're going to bring them back into this brick and mortar, right, Frankie? And you're going to expose them to this coronavirus because they cannot guarantee you, like I was saying the other night, guarantee you that there is no risk of contracting this virus at BISD. Is there a 100% guarantee?
Carlos, I think we heard from the president that this could just up and go in 3 weeks, right? Like just disappear.
Look at his valet.
Yeah. No, the board president.
oh, that's Erasmo's friend.
Yeah.
No, Jimmy got a good image. Hey, Peggy, Leslie's saying that we need a woman as a regular anchor. Invite her on.
Bring her.
Bring her.
Women is power. I live with 4 women at home.
Carlos, we need you on the school board.
Yeah.
It's political. Just like I lost my fire chief position. It's political because I wouldn't do what the Ben Neves wanted me to do, was just change a report. I wouldn't do that.
Guys,
that's why he fired me.
Guys, they asked me to play this, and I'll play it. We asked why all teachers would not get stipends, and this seems to be the rationales. So I'm not required to communicate with students. Question?
Everyone, we want to give everything to everybody, and then some, right? But I don't think that it's feasible. First, the district has been, mindful. I definitely, whenever this crisis first initiated, my first thoughts were, how are we going to take care of our employees? Can everybody continue to stay on payroll? And that was the biggest concern for me, because the mortgage doesn't stop coming, your light bill doesn't stop coming, car payments, student loans, people have different financial situations, right? And so whenever this first happened, that was my number one concern, right? That and that we continue to feed kids. Then we saw what happened with the stipend, the $100 stipend for internet. Other people were upset that they were not getting it, even though they're not required to have a communication with students. So I hate to ask of you that we
stipends. Where's the stipends?
So what they're saying is that they're not required to get the stipends? Yes, I agree. They're not. But they deserve more than that.
Of course.
They're not required to go into a damn school that is not protected. That has not been disinfected with coronavirus. But what? The superintendent wants them to go there? And the school board wants them to go in there?
I think teachers do a lot of stuff that isn't required on a daily basis.
Oh, God. Come on.
Teachers are not required to care to teach, but they do because that's what they were born to do. Es el don que tienen, Erasmo.
100%.
El don que tienen. They're not there because, and you know that, and you hear that throughout everybody, and everybody who's an educator, they're not there to become rich. They're not there because they're there for the money. They're there because they want to make a difference. You know what? The school board should be there to make a difference. But they're not.
They're not. They're out for themselves.
The commission should be there to make a difference. But they're not.
No. They're out there to make a buck for themselves or to put more money in Sylvia's pocket. And Minerva, Prissy, and Drew, they sure helped her along the way. And
Erasmo, they're claiming, I don't know if it was 2 weeks ago or 2 days ago, that they need to reduce the budget by $30 million. Yet now they want to give the teachers a $1,500 raise times 3,000. That might be more than 3,000. So that's about $4.5 million. So now they're going to reduce the budget by $40 million because 4.5 and 4.5 next year. What are they going to do? They're going to end up firing teachers. Well, they're going to fire or forget about it. Okay, they're not going to. I take that back. They're not going to fire anybody. No. They're going to do attrition. They're going to absorb it. They're going to absorb these positions and then not hire anybody. But guess what? The superintendent and the school board has a whole plethora, because I don't want to use any other words, a plethora of positions on Region 1 to replace the teachers that, you know what, are making more than what an entry-level teacher is going to make. So how does that sound to you? As a union rep, as Beth would say, this smells fishy. As a president of TVA would say, this doesn't sound right. But guess what? The only person that's saying something is the people from AOBE. What the hell is going on, Erasmo? Frankie?
Well, let me tell you what. 30 million. Again, I had heard 20 to 30 million dollars. Guys, let me tell you what they're going to do is they're going to create a sinkhole for the coming boards that are coming on.
That's exactly right, Erasmo. I'm glad you said that. they are preparing, if they're not doing, there's only two options, Erasmo. There's only two options. Either do something because this Titanic has sunk and give the teachers, because the teachers are the biggest voting block in the school district or in the city of Brownsville. Because you know what? If every teacher would vote,
No,
they
hombre.
would win every election. Every election, whatever they wanted would happen. But guess what? If that doesn't happen, what's the second option? Is screw next board that's coming in November.
100%.
Only two options.
And that is the goal. The goal is either to just either win with their lies, with their manipulation, with the little power that they have left, win that way, or sink the ship for anyone that's coming on afterwards. But let me tell you guys, I'm going to say this as calmao as I can. I don't give a rat's ass how bad of a situation they leave for us in November. We're still going to kick ass in November. We're still going to take care of business in November. Because winter is coming. And it's bringing hell with them, man. And again, guys, it's time for change, folks. And again, a lot of people have been putting enough is enough. Enough is enough. Guys, I'm going to run on enough. Enough is enough.
And you know what? I'm going to let you know. Teachers, and I go back to teachers because that's the majority. But you know what? Teachers and counselors and anybody, BISD employees, the people who go and clean the schools, they all need to be respected.
Everyone.
At this point in time, they do not give a rat's ass about who, other than they want to look at the, it's like everything else. It's politics, bro. And politics is dirty. They're looking at who is the majority. Let's look at the majority. The teachers are the majority. But you know what? The teachers are not going to let the guy or the girl who comes and cleans their classroom every single night to make sure that they come back tomorrow and be able to teach those kids. They're not going to come back and go against the cleaning lady or the lady who serves lunch and leave them behind. They're looking at teachers. But you know what? The teachers represent FNS and classified and the security guards and the police officers. That's what they don't look at. These people are not singled out. These people have families and they have these circles and they look at, you know what? I'm going to take care of my buddy that takes care of me when I come into the school district. The guy who's out there making sure that I'm protected. The lady or the guy that makes sure that my classroom is clean every night and every morning. The person that goes in there and cleans the restrooms. The person that cleans, the cafeteria. The person that cooks. Those people, the teachers, they are a team. They're not by themselves. The school district thinks that, you know what, I'm going to look at just the majority who are the teachers. Those people, the teachers protect everybody. It's a team for them.
I'll ask this question. If I remember correctly, did administrators get a big in the 1,000 raises a couple years ago?
Yes.
Yes. So the nurses, diagnosticians, and counselors getting the raise to put them at the same stance. Board said $0 for those. Gutierrez doesn't give a rat's ass.
I agree 100%.
100%.
I agree 100%, Erasmo.
100%.
Yeah. So I spent 5 years working in a BI unit, and I worked with an amazing teacher, Tanya Cook Davila. She was over at Champion. I worked with her and Savetta Edwards. Those people, oh my gosh, the amount of work that goes into it, a daily basis is unreal. And so to not give them raise, I mean, and I think Beatriz mentioned in the comments, because they're not teachers of record. I would argue that those kids spend more time with their SPED teachers than they do with the classroom teachers. Yeah, and they're the ones providing, like they're giving the support, they're keeping up with any modifications, anything like that. They are some of the hardest working people on that campus and always overlooked because of the population of students that they work with.
I agree with you 100%. You know what? It is very difficult. You know what? Because they are the least individuals that are patted in the back.
Yes.
And some of these individuals, that's all they want. They don't care about the money. Some of these individuals, all they want is say, you know what? Thank you for what you did today. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming in today and taking care of these. Thank you. But you know what? In BISD, it's gone beyond that.
Mhm.
In BISD is about, hey, how much money are you gonna make me? How much money are you gonna put in my pocket? How much money are you gonna make me and my organization? That is a bunch of BS, man. The teachers are not in that for that.
No.
They want to say, you know what? And if you say, you know what, I praise you, thank you. If you give them a pencil, they will hold that like you wouldn't believe. All they want to do is be recognized for the hard work that they've been doing. And you know what? BISD teachers, counselors, librarians, every BISD employee has been busting their ass off for the last 5 to 6 weeks. Erasmo, Frankie, you know this, right?
100%.
And what do they want to do now?
But
Is
we know
exclude them from this.
no, but we know this. We know this because we are in tune with the teachers. I mean, guys,
Yes.
I mean, and I know you did this. I did when I went on to campuses, and I have a lot of my special education teachers here. When I went on campus, I went first to the cafeteria. I talked to every custodian, every security guard. I visited my special education class. I did everything that a board member should do. Why? Because we were in tune with the personnel, no matter what position they had.
Right.
We thanked everyone we came across. These people, they act as if they never even know what they do. They're so disassociated from the people, from our people in the city of Brownsville. And at the end of the day, by their actions, you will know them. Their actions show you that they don't give a rat's ass about our counselors, about our BI, our special education, about our custodians, about our bus drivers, about our food people. They just don't care. And you want proof? Look at all the stupid decisions that they've made in the 5-6 weeks, Carlos.
Well, yeah, they're making decisions because it's a political. You know what? It's an election year, man. It's an election year, and unfortunately, for you know what, an election year, they exclude the most important people. They want to go with who is the biggest voting block, and in this case, it's the teachers, and I agree with that. And I've always told them that the biggest voting block in Brownsville, and I'm not talking about any election, every election, it's the teachers. The teachers are the most powerful people in Brownsville, and they are excluding them at the local level. Why? Because they do not give a rat's ass about these people. They need to empower these individuals. They need to make sure that they are respected first and foremost, and they need to know that you know what, they are the first person that's going to fight for their kids.
Look
Like like my kids' teacher. All my kids have gone to public education. I don't have any kid that has gone to private, like a board member of ours does. That is the worst disrespect that a public in education can have. Is I'm a board member, but my kids go to private school. That is a bunch of bullshit.
guys, I'm showing this cup.
That is a
TLC,
This
TLC cup.
No, it's not. Actually, I got this cup from one of my amazing special ed teachers.
Patrick Chemist.
No. And that teacher is on here. I just wanted to show her. I keep this cup always very, very close to me.
Good for you, man.
My special ed teachers out there.
Special ed, man. I'm not kidding. Those are the people that are always facing the wall, man.
Always.
Special ed individual has a wall already built up for them. They're the ones that are going to be there fighting that wall. Every other kid has an opportunity. A special education individual has a wall they have to break through. That is the population that we need to protect. Those are the individuals that we need to help. Those are the people that we need to give the most money to. Special education people are going to change the world.
Amen, brother.
Whether they work or not, porque son huevones or no. A special education individual is because God made them special to change the world.
Preach.
That's the difference, Erasmo.
100%. Tanya, I always keep it on my desk, always close to me, because it means a lot. And everything else I've received from the amazing people out there, because let me tell you guys, we care. That's one of the things that we don't get from a lot of individuals here. They do not care. I don't know you play the piano. He does. He plays the underkeys. Research needs to be done by every voter to vote this board out. Vote the right people in. Come November, preach. I love you. And let me tell you, hey, Papa, how you doing? Hey. Let me tell you, and again, Miss Cook, I'll tell you. Hey, Papa. Let me tell you about Miss Cook. I had gone to. Hey, Papa, how you doing? I'd gone to an event at the mall, and I was watching our special ed kids pass by. And all of a sudden, my nephew is in the line, and I'm going like, "What are you doing here?" He goes, "I came for the field trip," and I just didn't know he was special ed. So and then I met Miss Cook, and let me tell you, my Lord, my nephew. Let me tell you, he progressed leaps and bounds in Miss Cook's class, and his parents are very grateful. I'm very grateful, and not only to Miss Cook, but to every single one of our amazing special ed by unit on the ground individuals. Guys, I worked special ed for 3 years. 3 years. I know the struggle. I know la falta de apreciación, man. And we know. Tanya Cook still have what? Still have one for Celeste. What's that? Carlos, you look at that higher up, but their kids going to private school like Missy. No, thank you. One thing I've noticed on the Dr. Senior page is how many outstanding students pays these at 100%. These kids are getting pulled up for partial scholarships to Ivy League universities. Amazing amount of talent we have in Roswell. Amazing. Guys, it's been an hour and a half past. We could probably go for another hour, but guys, we got to wrap it up. Let's go. Ryan, any last words for a preview?
Yeah. Remember in November.
Remember in November.
That's a good one. That's a good one, Ryan.
Guys, let me tell you something. And I tell everyone out there that's mentioned this, guys, we don't only need your vote out there. We need your family's vote. We need your friends' vote. We need your neighbor's vote. And we don't want you just to call them. We want you to take them to the polls. Take them. That's the only way that we can do it. Frankie, any last words?
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Gatos, for joining. And thank you, world, for tuning in. It's truly a pleasure. Very quickly, the counselors, they're going to phase 3. I had a friend of mine reach out to me and saying that her aunt's going to be losing $3,000 from her pay. Teachers are going to be going back to the schools May 15th. So it wasn't a voluntary issue. It was a we'll see you on the 15th. Happy Teacher Appreciation Week. And it feels like if the money that was recently given was to try and put a Band-Aid over the many faults and scars that the leadership have given the community, and more importantly the teachers. The $1,500, it is a good sign, but at the end of the day, it just looks like, hey, look what I did for you. Remember to elect me in November. It worked that way. I'm sure the teachers could see past that smoke screen. Again, the 20th death for Cameron County. Hidalgo is at 368. Cameron is at 483. Again, we keep on seeing Harlingen, the numbers rise from the nursing homes. Thank you so much, guys. Once again, thank you for tuning in. See you bright and early tomorrow at 9.
Guys, Val, special ed teachers have the same deadlines and workloads as general education teachers. And on top of that, a whole other mountain of workload. It's double the amount of work. Special ed paperwork is based on deadlines and sensitive, crucial to dot, and it's dot I's and cross T's while multitasking with behavior. Amen, Val. Amazing work. Carlos, last words.
Stay safe. Screw the superintendent and stand up. AOB is number 1.
It is, guys. Guys, it's been a great night. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Ryan, Carlos, always, and Frankie. Guys, God bless you. Take care of each other. Stay home. Stay safe. Be good to us all. God bless.
Thank you.
Say bye.